The Create Adult Skills Network is tasked with not only delivering quality research on technology use in adult learning, but also is tasked with building capacity of the practitioners in the field to be able to access quality research and technical assistance to help in their technology integration. So what's really exciting to me about this work is that the Create Adult Skills Network is the largest investment ever made by IES, which is the Institute for Educational Sciences and the research arm of the U.S. Department of Ed. It's the largest investment they've ever made in adult education, and it's entirely focused on understanding how to better use technologies in adult learning. So we, as co-leaders of the network, help support collaboration among the network teams and help connect them with stakeholders, practitioners, other researchers who know about adult learning in order to heighten the relevance. No, so there are a couple chats, I think, a couple links to chat. Several years ago, Jeff Dumas and I presented at a conference supported by the Center for the Study of Adult Literacy, led by Daphne Greenberg. And together, Judith Allen-Press from Apt Associates and Jeff and I sort of did a backward look at how people have been using technology, specifically during the pandemic. And we decided that the how and the tasks, and often presented in a sequence, would be really great framing for both a research agenda and a learning agenda around technical assistance. So we went through and so we went through, pitched some original ideas, crowdsourced them within World Ed and with others. Actually, many of you on the call might have given us feedback on what these categories should be. And the idea is to prompt practitioners to think about the support that they need based on their task using technology. So I think we can go to the next slide. And you can see that the library consists of these 6 topic areas. The first one, and just feel free to just click through, is on planning technology use, then on determining instructional content, managing courses and instruction, communicating with and supporting learners, and providing instruction in different modes like HyFlex, distance blended, and then assessing learners. So I want you to notice that these are largely instructional tasks. There's a whole nother TA library that we could build on administration of programs using technology, but these are very much focused on what a practitioner would do in the classroom. And we hope to provide guidance, to you as practitioners. So basically what we did, I think we can go to the next slide. We combed the internet, we crowdsourced information. We had a questionnaire out there. We had at least one session at COABE and some state conferences in order to get suggestions from practitioners on technical assistance resources that they have used in those content areas that I just talked about that have helped them with their implementation of technology aligned or technology enriched instruction. So basically we had the questionnaire out there. Justine and Gina and I collaborated. I developed a rubric, which we can talk about in a little bit, for being able to determine the quality. So is this going to be included in the directory or not? We evaluated this on the content quality, like, is it accurate? Do the links work? Is it timely? Is it relevant? Is it focused on issues that really are important for adult educators? Is it accessible, or is it well designed? Is it easy to navigate? And is it either from really trusted resources or make good use of referenced research in order to support the validity of the claims they made around the technical assistance? So next slide. Okay, so we decided, we really believe that Justine in a minute is going to actually show you what it looks like. But in doing this, we actually kind of fell in love with the evaluation rubric that we created to rule in and rule out whether or not these things were good at providing TA. So we decided to turn that into an additional resource. So we'll be sharing that as well today. And it's essentially a bonus tool that you can use if you're encountering like a guidance document from any organization to help you understand whether or not the guidance that you're given is going to be helpful or not. So with that, I think I will turn it over to Justine to give you a tour and to say a little bit more.
Yeah, thank you, Jen. So we're gonna explore the library together, and you'll notice that there are 3 categories listed here: type, format, and category. And when you explore and get into the library, those are just some of the ways that you can find content and resources here. So for resource type, we have informational material and instructional materials, a variety of formats from blogs to webinars, podcasts, research papers, you name it. And then the 6 categories that Jen had mentioned earlier. All of these resources have also been categorized and tagged for relevant information. So let's say I want to find something on reusability, if I can spell it right, that'll be, and maybe I want to watch a webinar because I don't feel like reading something today. And it's going to pull up anything that is related to reusability in a webinar for me. And I have an EdTech strategy session on designing reusable activities. There's a description of what the resource is, the categories that Jen mentioned and their alignment to them, other related tags, a link to the resource itself, and some information on accessibility if it has it. So for instance, this YouTube video has closed captioning, and it's just whatever you think you could, anything you can imagine, we want to have it. If it's not there, we want to get that from you, and Gina will actually talk a little bit more about that.
Wow, Justine, what a great segue there. So yes, the intention of this library is that it is always growing, and it will always be accepting new materials, which we will go through the same evaluation process to evaluate whether it's of quality and all that stuff. So I put the link in the chat here. So if there's something that you've been working on with your instructors, and not necessarily classroom materials, but things that help people in order to use tech tools in the classroom, then go ahead and fill out that jot form and send them our way.
So since we have a little bit of extra time, maybe we could show the rubric, the evaluation rubric, so people can get a sense of how we evaluated each of the materials that appears in the TA directory. So the way we created this was to do a landscape scan of research literature on how to evaluate technical assistance resources and other guidance materials. I found a lot of guidance in published research on open education resources and how to evaluate OER. So basically synthesized all the information that we found, knew that we wanted this rubric to be very concise so that it would be easy to use. So we consolidated the different factors for evaluation into these 3 or 4 criteria that you see on the left. And then within the definition and the sub bullets, you can see there are some fine points. So we've got content quality, where we're thinking about whether it's written in plain language, whether it's accurate and current, whether it's based on some expert knowledge or referenced, whether it's logically arranged, or whether or not it actually covers what it says it's going to cover. Then we've got use of ease of use and accessibility, and then also provenance. Below, you can see a list of the references, some of the key references that we use to create the guide. So we hope that you will make use of this as an addition to the actual TA resources that are in the library, and do stay in touch with us if you have any questions or any additions or any refinement to the rubric or the TA library itself.